Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Japan Catch Up. Just Jibwa and Kumi today. Hi, Kumi.
Hello.
And today we'll be discussing or covering again just some news topics from the past week, as well as some cultural and language lessons courtesy of Kumi. So we'll start with our language lesson for this week. And Kumi, what do you have for us?
Today I brought the phrase どっちでもいいよ。
どっちでもいい。
どっちでもいいよ。
うん。
Yeah. And どうでもいいよ。
どうでもいいよ。
Yeah, so perfect.
Uh-huh.
This is not quite unique or kind of slang thing. The reason why I brought two vocabulary is I struggle to get the nuance of two phrase in English. I don't care and doesn't matter. So yeah, there is a huge difference of feeling or meaning in Japanese sounds as well. So I want to share that information. So probably you should say どっちでもいいよ。
どっちでもいいよ。
Yeah, it means it doesn't matter. Literary meaning is either is fine.
Either is fine.
Yeah, because どっち means どっち we can use どっちwhen there is an option. There is two options.
Popping his head in. So どっちでもいい is basically just like selecting. It's not like a bad thing. Not like, oh, I don't care. It's
Yes.
either is fine. Okay. どっちでもいいよ.
So you will be asked in a restaurant by waitress. Do you want to have a coffee or tea? Ma'am, sorry. In this case, you should say something, coffee or tea. Well, when you arrive at the hotel with your Japanese friend, there is a two beds beside window or beside door. And your friend may ask, which is your favorite place to sleep on the bed?
And I'll be like どっちでもいいよ.
どっちでもいいよ. That's friendly way and the natural conversation.
Okay.
So I want to tell the negative one.
Uh-huh.
If your Japanese boyfriend not sweet to you and you want to be cold as well, you can say どうでもいいよ.
どうでもいいよ. Oh, so that's like
どうでもいい.
negative if you're in
Yes,
a bad
very
mood.
negative. Yeah. It sounds like more I couldn't care less. どうでもいい. Don't care. Don't care. For me, English don't care sounds a bit strong. Like I can say shortly, bit loudly. So I couldn't care less. Like small.
I couldn't care less. どうでもいい.
どうでもいい. And then I will show variation in place of expression of variation of this feeling. あっそ.
あ、そう.
Yes, this is just the hiragana, no kanji of this.
そう.
Completely same feeling. あっそ. Hey, have you ever heard our boss and this woman actually having date? That kind of, gossip. And you don't care. You can say あっそ. あっそ.
Okay. There's a Mount Aso in Kyushu somewhere.
Well,
Probably a different Aso.
Yeah, tips is in this case there is a small tsu character between a and so. So make sure make sure you should have to sounds kind of skip sounds. Aso.
Not aso. Aso.
Aso.
Okay.
So yeah, hope you don't say aso for this language course.
Oh, that's really interesting. So, どっちでもいい?
どっちでもいい. Oh, that's tip. If there is a more than two option, you can say どれでもいい. Whatever, and also whatever. All of them are fine, or anything is okay.
Okay, anything is fine. Okay.
どれでもいい.
I will try to use that in conversation this week when
Feeling
Alan
comfortable.
asks me if I want to do something. I'll just be like, "Ah, so."
So the point is, don't look at him. So keep going yourself, not reason.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Kumi. We will get on with the news topics of this week. And I think one of the big things, I suppose, is that Japan has lifted its state of emergency pretty much everywhere. So life is back to normal. Well, as much as it can be, I think people are still taking precautions and wearing masks. Um, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Kumi, but they're allowing groups to get together, but like not more than 100 people if it's a big gathering, and they have a whole lot of other rules. But right now, Japan has around 16,000 cases and 840 deaths, which is pretty good with, no lockdown, or no strict lockdown.
Yeah, sounds fine. Just out of no doubt, we are afraid the virus spread it quickly again. So
Yeah.
as not to that, there is some new rule about gathering people, like you said.
Mm,
Uh, so, some of the rules appeared newly is very logical, understandable. Like we're still wearing masks.
mm,
Some rules sounds a bit ridiculous. Uh, the new rule out of the emergency of statement I've heard is don't be close more than 2 meter in karaoke shop or something. So,
well, that
so if you
doesn't
want
sound.
to go to karaoke, don't holding shoulder each
Yeah.
other, taking rhythm. Just
Mm,
sit down away
yeah.
2 meters.
I feel like some karaoke booths are really small, so it's difficult
True.
to get.
Difficult. Yeah, if it's a very small room, the maximum people enjoy karaoke at the same time is just two. Can be one.
Yeah, and
So
probably sharing karaoke mics while you're screaming a song isn't very good
yeah,
for not
the,
spreading a virus.
exactly. But I start to speak with negative side, but the nearest station from my apartment, that area, which has a lot of shop and restaurant,
Hmm.
even pachinko shop, it seems clouded more than last few weeks. Even
Oh,
that was
really?
weekday evening.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was good feeling to see. Not
Hmm.
super clouded as it was used to be. It used to be, but
Mm.
few weeks ago, that was like the start seeing of biohazard. So
Yeah,
it's very good feeling good.
yeah,
Just
to see some people out.
mm, well, even government said there will be some phase to
Mm.
recover completely. So now,
Yeah.
lots of my friends who is musician, they still, struggle to find opportunity to play because um, live venue, music venue is not included to
Yeah.
open their business this
Mm.
phase. I think, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope that the cases don't increase again after decreasing.
Mm.
But I think, people are going to start to be able to move around more. So they're trying to push for tourism a little bit more. Um, and what are they currently trying to do to get people to travel?
Although as the news, it was very happy news for us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, as means kid to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Briefly, I will, sorry, let me read the article briefly. Japan may cover half the cost of your visit.
Mm.
Then the idea was, government will pay your cost of to come to Japan and entertainment and transportation, maximum 50%
Mm,
for
mm.
stimulating tourism industry.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that for anyone, or do you have to qualify somehow?
that was for anyone, but now um, since we decided to talk about this, there is an update. So
Mhm.
now they changed this draft uh, for domestic tourism industry,
Mhm.
like means for Japanese people. Well,
Well, that's
the,
unfortunate.
yeah, mixed feeling.
Yeah.
The money will go towards domestic tourism in Japan, and
Mm.
it simply difference subsidizing, sorry,
Yeah, subsidizing.
portion of travel
Yeah.
expense. That's the
Mm.
new update.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might be smart because otherwise, I think there would be a lot of international tourists just descending upon Japan, and Japan would have to fork out a lot of money. Um, but it's a good idea. Well, it's a good idea for stimulating the economy,
Yeah,
I suppose.
like we talked about at very first episode, the tourist industry got damaged at the very
Mm,
first phase, so it should be covered.
mm,
Maybe the there might be also phase as well. Maybe people want to start traveling along domestic first. That makes sense.
yeah,
Or to, or it can be scared to go to abroad yet, if because every country has a different quarantine regulation. Some country need to stay in the hotel or private
yeah,
place can be more than 2 weeks. It's not convenient for entertainment
yeah.
tourism.
Mm,
So maybe even it will be happen in other country, people start to have a traveling allowance domestic first.
mm.
So
Yeah,
hopefully we can come up with good news for foreign tourists. Mm. Again, I will keep watching this draft.
yeah. At some point, maybe they'll be giving incentives to
Mm.
everyone else. But
Yeah,
mm,
excuse me.
but
I
when
often use the
yeah.
night first to go to some other country, sorry, other
Oh,
prefecture
uh,
for domestic tourism. But
mhm.
if they will cover cost for transportation as well, I prefer to use Shinkansen, bullet train for
Yeah,
Japan tour. That convenient and amazing and
yeah.
comfortable,
Mhm.
relatively.
A bit more, it sounds a bit more comfortable than an overnight bus
Mm,
and faster, I would imagine. Um, but when people do start to come back to Japan, because in preparation for the Olympics, um, the Shinkansen, they reviewed their luggage policies and they have some new luggage restrictions, which is going to be important for everyone, I suppose, who's traveling on the
mm.
bullet train. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Kumi, but the overview is that for any oversized luggage, you now have to reserve a special spot to store it in advance. And if you don't reserve it, then they won't let you on the train.
Or even not like extra cost.
Well, I think there's an extra cost if something's available, and if it's not available, then you just have to get the next train.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think everyone is allowed a bag that, as long as it's less than 160 centimeters in dimension, so like overall less than 160 centimeters. But if it's bigger than that, you have to reserve reserve storage space in advance. But there's not a lot of storage space on the Shinkansen. So
Yeah.
oof, I'm
So
not sure.
it sounds huge luggage, like a popular size for international flight, is actually fine. But if it's family trip, you have a two or three that kind of huge luggage.
Yep.
Or if you are fan of skiing or snowboarding, and then bringing your bringing some their own board or something, that
Mm,
can be, yeah, not convenient. Like
yeah.
I said, I'm not. Uh, like I said, I try to reduce the cost of travel, so I often
Mm,
use night bus. So I'm not sure the new regulation is more strict, or
mm.
uh, become easier to bring something. But sounds it's become stricter, right?
Yeah, I think it's become a lot stricter. I think because Japan has had so many visitors and people
Mm.
often bring like extra bags just to go shopping, um, and so a lot of luggage. And I think there have been problems storing it all on the Shinkansen. So I think they're trying to, you know, deal with
Have
that.
you ever heard any other transportation has luggage regulation?
Not other than airplanes, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
So I'm not sure if is it for safety or is it new way to earn money.
I think maybe just space because
Mm,
then if people might be keeping their luggage in the aisles and then you can't get past. Um, but anyway, so if people travel to Japan, if there's oversized luggage, they'll have to reserve it in advance when they reserve their seat, or they will have to use maybe kuroneko and courier their luggage
um,
ahead of them, which might be the easier option, I think. Mhm.
so in the future, I hope they will renew Shinkansen first.
Yeah.
The traveling when I went to Europe,
Mm.
often train or tram has a space for luggage, and then that space has a chain or something to hold
Mm.
luggage bar or something.
Yeah.
Then you can go to seat. That space usually prepared along the door of
Mm.
cage. So that, yeah, I think Shinkansen, not so many Shinkansen has that space.
Some of them, yeah, but
Yes, we should renew first. even
upgrade the Shinkansen. Mm.
even some Shinkansen still allowed to smoke sometime. So maybe they
Uh,
renew.
New rules.
Sorry,
Mm.
hopefully, from my view, I want to they renew.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I think yeah, let's just see what happens. Japan
Mhm.
loves their rules. Maybe they'll have some new rules in the future. Um, but something funny that Alan found on the internet the other day was an interesting theory as to why Japan has so few coronavirus cases. So I'm going to share my screen with you, Kumi, and we're going to watch uh, a video. Tell me when you can see it.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, so this is a video talking about why Japan was um, able to curb coronavirus cases.
So if she has a back screen, black back screen, even we can say the light of speed. But
Um,
now this case we try to see how uh, the air comes out from the
yep,
mouse
yep.
hovers.
So apparently, when you're speaking Japanese, there's less air coming out of your mouth, so you're spraying less germs into the air. And if you're speaking English, then there's more coming out of your mouth, which may be, contributing to the spread. So I've got my tissue here. So we're gonna give this a try. We'll start with the Japanese. So これはペンです. Okay.
Yeah, I can
And
see small wave center of the tissue.
good.
Yeah, now.
I'll
Mhm.
try say it like her. This is a pen. This is a pen. これはペンです.
Yeah, I can see I can see exact I can see yeah English when you speak English the tissue waving more.
More,
It
yeah,
doesn't mean Japanese won't make more. So
yeah. And that's one sentence. I feel like maybe Japanese people can
maybe
get angry and speak. They can spray more when they speak. But let's see you. Let's
and pen is sound pen is extreme one to
it is, yeah.
let airs out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
from Japanese.
Okay.
これはペンです。
Hmm.
これはペンです。
Yeah.
So next English.
Yeah.
This is a pen. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I can feel P. When I speak
Yeah.
Japanese P,
Mm.
pen des. Yeah, pen. But when I try to make
Yeah.
sound similar to English, especially P,
Mm.
yeah, I can feel it.
Okay, so maybe there is something behind
Yeah,
it.
well, it's maybe it's combination because Japanese also doesn't have a culture of hugging
Mhm.
or uh, in business thing, maybe holding hands is a natural thing to do, but we
Yeah.
usually don't even holding hand between friends.
Yeah.
So not we don't have a body contact that much as well.
Mm.
That maybe combination as well.
Yeah.
And
Mm. Mm.
interestingly, I can speak, not can speak. I've studied Chinese a little bit.
Mm.
Chinese also sound has lots of sounds making this wave a lot like a to or t
Uh,
t
yeah.
Chinese language as well. So is that reason spread very quickly in China as well? They don't have hugging culture. So even this is the way to pl practice pronunciation Chinese when I was
Oh,
a
really?
student in language school. So
Mhm.
I needed to make sure I'm doing.
So maybe we'll all need to be wearing masks for a little bit longer. At least if you're living in an English speaking or a Chinese speaking country. Maybe if you're in Japan, you're okay.
Well, since I speak in English, I need to make sure try not to speak P like P.
Yeah, maybe avoid P sounds.
Is there any other sound making?
Okay. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to go through the whole alphabet. But something interesting that's also related to coronavirus is Japan's subsidizing um, grant that they're giving out to people. But for students, apparently the cash benefit for students is only for the top 30% of students. And if you aren't in the top 30%, like academically, then you won't get any cash from the government.
Firstly, I want to ask, how does it sound, even without anything about coronavirus, making ranking of academic results for students? Is it some that sounds familiar to you too?
Yeah, I mean, top students will get awards
Mm.
and prizes, and students who don't do well won't get any awards. So now they're doing it. I don't know if it's fair to do it with money when like everyone's been affected by the
Yeah,
virus. I don't know. Do you think it's fair?
I don't think so. And then I even couldn't get the point what Japanese government think uh, the 30% of top students can be, sorry, benefit for Japan. If
Yeah.
the government sort that 30% of students will work in Japan after
Mm,
they finish the start, it's kind of makes sense. But lots of students just came to study some specific industry in Japanese
mm,
university, and then they might want to go back their country
mm-hmm.
or find work sometime. So it we can't say the government trying to protect potential resource in Japan
Yeah.
by sending this money for them.
Mm,
It doesn't make sense sort students by academic ranking.
mm.
Eh, well,
Maybe.
mm, if
Okay.
there is survey, do you want to work in Japan for future, or
Mm,
do you have any a part-time job in Japan? Um, then they say yes. Okay, but they will help. Government
yeah.
will help them. That makes sense for me.
Mm. Maybe they're trying to bribe the top 30% of students to stay in Japan by giving them money. And they think,
Yeah.
oh, Japan government is so great. I'm going to stay here now.
But that's not good in good to way, because 70% means majority will think
Yeah.
Japan government is cruel.
Yeah. Well, they're placing their bets on
Yeah,
the top 30%,
I
clearly.
think there will be some updates for this article as well,
Mm,
because it's kind of controversial thing, and a lot of students against that um, idea.
mm,
And then recently, sometime, especially recently, the government drafted changing again.
mm,
People's voice, people's opinion affected their idea a lot recently. That sounds what isn't bad. So
mm.
I hope even small amount of money is fine. I'd prefer they say something
Yeah.
equal thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think, yeah, like I said, everyone's
Yeah.
in the
In
same boat.
situation,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, we'll see how they tackle the feedback from that. Um, was it last week that we discussed how during coronavirus the suicide rate has gone down? I think that was last week.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
apparently people are a little bit less stressed, although now they might become stressed again because everything is going back to normal or trying to go back to normal. Um,
Sounds sad. Japanese ordinary life is stressful.
yeah,
Coming back, stressful life for us.
but just when we were celebrating that good news, there was an article uh, saying how one of Japan's she was like a mini celebrity star. Do you know Hana Kimura?
Yes, actually, because of this trouble,
Mm,
this article.
mm. And she was she was a pro wrestler, but also on the latest Terrace House series, I think, on which is available on Netflix. But she committed suicide last week, I think. Um,
Sadly, yes.
mm,
Uh, yeah, that wasn't related to coronavirus, but virus. That wasn't. Her stress didn't come from
mm,
this situation, this corona situation.
mm,
Uh, Probably lots of people agree. Sorry, how can I say this kind of genre of TV series? the real
Reality TV?
reality show. Yes, so lots
Mm,
of people agree reality show kind of emphasizes people's character to make the show interesting.
mm,
And Hannah's position was uh, hated person. No,
uh,
not hated. Sorry, a kind of strongest
mm,
opinion person
yeah.
and expression her feeling uh, in that show. So
Mm,
people get her personality from TV shows too much seriously,
mm,
and she got a lots of hate message on her Twitter, Instagram.
oh,
Then even TV program couldn't have protect or couldn't care her feeling enough. That was the now now discussed thing,
mm,
that she finally couldn't stand in anymore.
mm,
You know, the salary, she was just 22 years old. You
wow.
know,
So,
I know she's professional, and a lot of people said uh, celebrity, famous person um, should have understood they can be in this position.
mm,
Like a lot of people commented about them,
mm,
but 22 years old is still young to
exactly.
understand,
Mm,
society or logic about people's feelings.
yeah,
Maybe she's taken these words too seriously. Maybe read every single word,
yeah.
couldn't let them go. So then, yeah, it's very sad to finish this topic at this point. So I would like to remind uh, the end of this story. The Twitter company and maybe Facebook as well had this new regulation of tweeting if
Mm,
there is country kind of
any like hate.
extremely, yeah, words, uh, they will ban their account. Sorry,
Mm,
they will ban this person's account or couldn't tweet something like that. So
yeah,
the society moved by this sad news.
yeah, yeah. That's tough. I mean, yes, I think cyberbullying with the growth of social media has just become a bigger cause of like suicide and bullying and self-harm, because people when they're not when when they're not face to face with someone can be very mean because they're sitting behind a computer and there's no risk, so people can be so nasty.
And that's shame. That's a shame. Like I said, she's just 22 years old, young woman. If
Yeah.
she's kind of, you know, um, bad acting or bad behavior, maybe most of the audience is older than her. Just
Mm,
enjoy.
yeah,
We, if they could have just enjoyed it. Well,
yeah,
she's too much extreme. That's it. But she's not only one case. It's like you said, a lots of yeah, artist or actors, actress has been in trouble from
mm,
reality show. Some other articles said maybe reality show need to change the style
mm,
or uh, the director or brain of making that reality show. The kind of
mm,
people need to care about actor or
yeah,
more for this entertainment.
mm.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, whew, whew. Let's just like I just hope that I think companies are doing things about it now, but
Mm.
I hope that they do more to tackle everything that was like cyberbullying, I suppose. Um,
The reality show is not my thing actually. No,
mm,
I've I've never been keen on it.
mm,
I know some famous one though,
mm,
because it's for me it's obviously not reality.
yes.
It's, yeah, but some people believe this is really real. So
Mm,
I don't know. For entertainment, they can't say this is not real. but we understand it's not real.
Yeah.
Well, now, briefly, let me let me show my friend's story briefly.
Mhm.
She is in Ireland. Uh, she went to Ireland Ireland on February to study English, but since then Ireland is in lockdown as well. So
Mm.
now she can't go outside that much as expect buying necessary things. So she's stuck in the 20 or something like that, 20 students in
Mhm.
dormitory together.
Oh, wow.
Then everyone couldn't go outside that much.
Mm.
So yeah, she often say, when I have phone call with her, she often say, that's reality show. That's reality show. And then now she find out now there is two new couples.
Uh-huh.
And then she's saying like, it's not good feeling to see, building new couple relationship very closely
Yeah.
in reality show. It's not actually it's so entertainment thing, entertained thing. So fun reality show is good quality to see fun means not real.
Yeah. I think a real reality TV show would be boring. So they
True.
have to try to make reality TV exciting, which makes
Hmm.
it not real. Oh, but moving on to happier news,
Yeah.
is another famous person with Japanese heritage, Naomi Osaka, has become the world's highest. Well, she's beat Serena or topped Serena as the world's highest paid female athlete. So she is, the earning the most money as a female athlete.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood about this article. I thought just become top tennis players, uh, number one, not female athlete.
Yeah, well,
Ooh.
top highest paid female athlete. So, I mean, she's won titles, so she is a good, you know, a, one of the best athletes. But I think for let's see what it says. Serena she's had like the top spots, like earning the most money for the past 4 years. But this year, uh, and before that, Sharapova, who was also a tennis player, she was like the highest paid female athlete in the world. But now that title belongs to Naomi Osaka.
Wow, that's great. Cool. Congratulations.
Mhm.
I to be honest, I'm not so I don't have a good knowledge about the sports industry, how they earn money or something like that. I only only thing I know is they can get prize when they won, and they also have endorse contract
Yep.
with company or sports goods company, something like that. And then uh, some sport player also doing some talent job, like showing on the TV or doing commercial.
Mhm.
I only know that kind of three thing. I'm wondering because I'm wondering how she get money except prize because I haven't seen her on TV that much.
Well, I think she signed with Nike, so she has an apparel deal with Nike, which is a lot. And then I've seen her on some adverts, like on the trains. I've seen her in some Japanese adverts. So she must be getting a lot from like advertising deals or yeah, just signing with other companies as an ambassador or just appearing in
That's very
things
cool.
to
But
promote their product.
sports and also costs. Sorry. Sometimes there is sound delay. I
Mhm.
have to get to sorry. And I've heard the food controlling costs them a lot.
Mm.
So not just for health because they're worrying about doping thing. So
Yeah.
try not to eat something banned by sports industry
Hmm.
accidentally. They really caring about what they eat in up, especially outside Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Even they some people no sorry I don't know specific information about Naomi diet, but I've heard they often bring food from Japan to the country which has a tournament or something.
Yeah.
So they need money as well.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably spending, a lot of money on, stuff that normal people don't spend money on. But, good job to Naomi Osaka. I think she's worked
Congratulations.
hard to get to where she is.
Too cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is it for our news topics for this week. And now you're going to tell us about, I don't know how old this practice is in Japan, but omiai.
Yeah, yes. Firstly, is I'm wondering, is it famous to hear? Is this sound that sounds familiar to you or other audience? Omiai? Is it popular? Is it weird Japanese culture, or is it Japanese culture which is mm, uh, not existing in other countries, something like that?
I think some countries may have a similar thing. I'm not sure if people would know about Japan's omiai culture unless they actually researched it.
Okay, so briefly, I will talk about omiai. I think omiai is originally meaning arranged marriage,
Mm,
a type of matching making, which having lunch or dinner, usually something food,
mm,
with potential couple and usually their parents
mm,
or maybe only mother.
mm,
Sometime other one, like it's called go-betweens
mm,
for their arranged marriage. Then there was that used to be a very formal marriage interview, like the purpose is going marriage.
yeah.
They often that time that was often very first time to see each other for them.
Mm,
Mm. Then uh, even finally, even they become couple as marriage couple, they
mm,
needed to pay some fee for that go between. So
mm,
that's the system
yeah.
for get marriage.
Yeah.
And it had been said omiai marriage was very popular for Japanese, like 70% of couple before World War II.
Wow.
Yeah, was we called it omiai kekkon. Sounds
Mm,
exactly omiai marriage. So
mm,
yeah, 70% of couple had an omiai marriage. That was very, very popular. Uh, more, it was for high high class family thing before, like
mm.
at a period, you know, mm, not Edo period, older than Edo period age, like
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Civil War age in Japan,
Mm,
because uh, that was like European war. This country's princess and this country's prince get married, and then
mm,
peaceful will come. The first idea is this, but in other periods that become popular for ordinary people as well, and
mm,
then that's the go between person's position become business,
mm,
and then nowadays that still exists as casual omiai, like we talked before, online omiai,
mm,
telework, telephone omiai in corona situation.
mm,
So that's the history briefly.
mm. Oh, that's really interesting. So basically, arranged marriages. But did the parents end up picking the person, or does the person getting married end up choosing who they want to marry? Like who does the choosing?
So if I talk about maybe Edo period,
Mm,
maybe uh, there's a common story about women's history. Women doesn't have a option to say maybe no. Mm. So that kind of arranged marriage was for family business benefit often.
Mm-hmm.
For example, trade company sons and business company, some products making products companies daughter get married, and then they will be bigger company, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So women often doesn't have a right to say no that age. Nowadays, of course not, as at least around me, it's mostly equal. The step is first they make kind of CV for get married, then with a photo, and then
Uh-huh.
they exchange. And if they say okay, they will meet each other. So
Mm.
even women can say no at this stop, at this stage.
Yeah.
No, he's not handsome. He's not my type.
It's like
No.
Tinder. The
Yes. Nowadays, she can say that. And even after having omiai dinner dinner opportunity,
Mhm.
nowadays they will have a maybe few dates, and then they can decide start with couple first or just get married. It's also option nowadays
Mm.
that this can be option. But
Mm.
maybe in ancient ages, uh, no dating period, just get married.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oof.
But since I grew up in Tokyo, I haven't often listened some people, some of my friends had an omiai marriage. It's
Mhm.
not common thing, super common thing around. Uh, how can I say that? City area,
Mm. Yeah.
because a lot of people has opportunity to see uh, uh, opposite gender or
Yeah. To meet
gender,
people.
yeah, meet people. A lot of sorry, bit messed up. But anyway, easy to
Opportunities.
see
Mm.
someone who you like, who we like. But I still heard some country area which doesn't have a much opportunity to see new people
Mhm.
for their job or for their living area. They often take the omiai way
Mm.
to get married.
Yeah. Do you know how much they charge? Like an omiai matchmaker will charge someone?
Oh no, I really don't know this,
So
but
I'm
I think
just wondering if it's super
yeah,
expensive or if it's affordable.
yeah. There is a two-step to pay this go between person. In Japanese language, they are called nakodo.
Affordable.
Yeah, there is a specific name for this position.
Mm.
Nakod. So first we need to pay nakod. Then we need to give fee for nakod after having dinner on the organization.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then if this organization will be success to get marriage, we're gonna pay again.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Uh,
So they pay for the setting up of the meeting, and then if it's a success, they will get
yeah.
paid again.
This is not a very reliable source because I just quickly Googled about fee for Nakodo.
Mm-hmm.
First article says, let me change to dollars. Sorry, maybe Jibwa, you can help me to change dollars. Um,
Yeah, how much yen is it?
if the marriage promised, engaged yet,
Mm.
50,000 yen to 100,000 yen.
So like 500 to $1,000.
Mm.
Wow. And is that total, or is that just for if the marriage is a success, or is it for the meeting?
That article say just once,
Mm-hmm.
but mm, But this article say it's better to gift, not cash. With cash is fine, is good
Mm,
to show appreciate, and this is talking about nowadays style, not like at a period
mm,
one. So
mm,
now this system become a little bit convenient way. It
yeah.
might be cheaper than it used to be.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean, that's still, 500 to $1,000. That's a lot more expensive, I think, than some free dating apps. But I suppose it's very more thorough. Like you're actually getting a matchmaker
Yes,
dedicated to you.
that uh, is it be able to good business? It's quite expensive.
Oh, I mean, I would
Quickly,
think.
I found that
Mhm.
another resource said 5 to 6% of men's income,
Like annual income
yearly
or like
yeah,
yearly.
yearly, yes, yearly income.
I feel like that, if depending on the person, that might come up to a lot of money.
So if I succeed making a match some very rich man and my friend, I can get 5% of his income.
Yeah.
That can be good business.
Yeah, if you're only dealing with rich people, then yeah, you could make a decent living, provided you're successful and good at what you do. So arranged marriages, which people are still doing today, but not as much as they used to do it
And,
back
like
in
I
the
said,
day.
that kind of system now it's become business.
Mm,
So nowadays people can use more country. Sometimes people seeing each other without parents,
mhm.
even, but still it said it is called omiai.
Yeah, and it's always for marriage. It's not for just not serious dating. It's for people looking for.
Yeah, exactly for marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that I don't need to use it because I don't think I have $1,000 to spend on looking for a spouse. But it's there for those wanting a different marriage partner, and you're in Japan. Or oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Do you know if it's just Japanese people, or do you get foreign people in Japan use or using omiai? I'm not sure.
But since just my guessing, since
Mhm.
omiai is not popular thing to for foreign
Mm,
people in Japan, I've never heard some omiai couple, international omiai couple.
yeah.
Yeah, but there is a believe or not, there is some specific service making matching between uh, foreign people who live in Japan and Japanese. This
Okay.
matching up or this matching service is not only for marriage, just it can be just datings.
Hmm.
So not only I think, but there is some people who specific people who want to get married, you
Mm,
know, not non-Japanese people.
yeah. Okay.
Mm,
So there's a different place you can go to if
yeah,
you're a
yeah.
foreigner. Okay.
It sounds more safer than using Tinder or something.
Yes.
It's, but not for marriage. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Well, that is then our culture fix for today, omiai in Japan. The last thing that we've got for today is our giveaway. Just something small, which is very Japanese. But Kumi, have you seen these?
No, Kit
Uh,
Kat.
Kit Kat. So Kit Kat is really popular in Japan.
Yes,
I've
yes, yes.
seen, yeah, yeah. So they have loads of different flavors and
Yes.
products, but this one is a soy milk um, product for the lactose intolerant people out there, or just the healthy people with nuts and cranberries. Soy milk, nut, and cranberry Kit Kat bites.
Well, it's so cute.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've seen a lot of type of Kit Kat convenience store supermarket often, but I've never seen that fashionable Kit Kat.
Yep.
Even package seems new for me.
Yeah. So this is up for grabs. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel and comment below, and we will choose one lucky person to win some Kit Kat bites and send these to you for you to enjoy. Um, yeah, Kit Kats are a very Japanese.
I love it. I might make another account, secret account to comment.
So I'm sure you can pop down to 7-Eleven and find them.
I've never seen it. Well,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah. Well, since the lockdown, due
Oh,
to lockdown, I haven't often got to the variety of convenience store, but I at least often go to 7-Eleven and Family Mart. These are
mm,
famous for famous brand as convenience store in Japan, and
yeah,
some supermarkets, but I've never seen it.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Very.
This might be the only one left in Japan. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, these I've tried them myself. They are quite tasty. So that is our giveaway for this week. So yeah, all you need to do is subscribe and comment below, and you may be enjoying some Kit Kat bites in the next couple of weeks. Um, but that is then us from Japan Catch Up with all of our news topics for this week. Subscribe to our channel, leave any comments below or questions about grammar or Japanese language or culture that we can answer on a future episode. And we will see everyone next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you next week.